once you free yourself from the meanness of the mind, an indiscriminate sense of love and inclusion arises within you. What do I mean by saying the meanness of the mind? We must understand, mind is one of the most phenomenal instruments that we have. It is the most significant possibility of being human is human intellect. But mind or intellect is like a knife. When you have a knife, if you have a sense of exclusivity, your knife will end up cutting up people or even yourself. So, meanness happens because we do not know how to use the discriminatory power of our intellect. This discriminatory power of our intellect is the most important and vital thing for our survival and the progress of individual human being. But most human beings use the knife in ways that separates them from the rest of their existence. The discriminatory power of your intellect is not for separation, but for enhancement of individual possibilities so that there is a collective and inclusive well-being for all. If we are not conscious, then a sharp knife in our hand naturally becomes a damaging process. And it ends up being really mean. To be mean means you cause hurt either to somebody or to yourself. You're either mean to yourself or to someone else. If you just rise above this one thing, that your intellect is not used to cause pain and suffering to yourself or to anybody, if you just do this much, you will see a natural upsurge of love born out of a deep sense of inclusiveness will arise within you. What we call as inclusiveness is not something that you do, that's the way existence is. But because of the discriminatory mind, we have an individual existence. It's a great privilege that in this vast cosmos, where we are just a minuscule of a life, we have individual existence, that we have our own experiences. There is no greater privilege than this. And this individual existence is a consequence of the discriminatory nature of our intellect. But if you do not know how to discriminate, to what extent and to what purpose, if you lose that, then the mind becomes a mean instrument. In that meanness, you become so exclusive, so alone, so fearful, so insecure. All these are consequences of not knowing how to use the phenomenal ability and capability to discriminate between what is you and what is not you, what is this and what is that. It is only because of this we are able to function, but at the same time, it becomes paralyzing for an individual human being if you use the power of discrimination in your intellect towards exclusivity. Once there is exclusivity, whether you understand or you don't understand, you are being mean to life, either to your own or to everything else. This tremendous power to discern from one thing to another is a tremendous power and privilege which allows us to grow, which allows us to blossom. We must use it for this purpose, not to drive ourselves into exclusion, loneliness, depression and variety of other meanness of the mind. Rise above the meanness of your mind. Know the fullness of love and fulfillment of life itself, because fulfillment of life is in its inclusiveness, not in its exclusiveness.